As for the Buckeyes, as they have a substantial lead.
I rode down the elevator at the hotel with David Lighty and John Diebler. I said, all right, guys, make me smart. What do you have to do today? They both in unison rebound. That's all we've talked about. Rebound the basketball. They have 11 offensive rebounds for Ohio State. They're out rebounding Minnesota 23-15. And remember, Minnesota plays with a really big team with Samson, Iverson, and Mbakwe.
Minnesota opens up the second half of the basketball. And their upset bid today on their home court. Collins, the freshman. Samson flashing into the middle. Instead, Mbakwe with a leaner and the foul. He'll go to the line. Nice quick start for the Golden Gophers to open up the second half.
Second time in this game that Trevor Mbakwe's been strong enough to hold off Dallas Lauderdale. You see Samson down there. He came down the lane as the pass was being thrown. That brought Sullinger in a position where he could foul.
His second, but no three-point play. So 38-32, Ohio State, first possession of the second half. The last couple of Ohio State opponents have frustrated them with their game plans. They've scored just 58 and 62 in their last two victories. Sullinger can't bank it. Nice tip there by Lauderdale.
Well, Lauderdale, the recipient of a lot of help. Sullinger was being played by Samson. Lauderdale's man Mbakwe came over to give a double team, and easy backside rebound for Lauderdale.
Mbakwe on Lauderdale again. He denies. Diebler went for the save but couldn't do it. So it'll be Minnesota ball.
And Dave, that's why I say Lauderdale should never give an angle to Mbakwe to the post. Lauderdale has to make Mbakwe score over him. I think last year Lauderdale was the defensive player of the year in the Big Ten. So when you're that good defensively, make a guy score over you. Don't make it easy for your opponent.
Harvard inbound. He had 10 in the first half, but Samson, who has it now, had 14. Harvard. He'll shoot it up. That's a three. And it's a 5-point game.
Harvard recognized that Ohio State was a little disorganized. Sullinger had switched to him. He kept his dribble alive. Sullinger not able to get out after him.
Minnesota trying to bring this big crowd in. Sullinger denied. Had two men right there waiting. Mbakwe nodding his head. Not here. Not going to happen here.
And Mbakwe needs to be a little bit careful with that, because they're going to go back to Sullinger.
Yeah, that's right.
But Samson did the same thing as Lauderdale. Stayed behind and just went up with him.
Over the top, Lauderdale with a slam.
Completely surprised Wisconsin. Their last guy you think is going to receive an inbounds pass for Ohio State's Dallas Lauderdale.
Brings his own bench up. He only gets 4 points a game. Heck, he only tries 2 shots a game.
Well, you'll see here just a little inside screen by Diebler. Again, Ralph Sampson has spurts of really good play. He's a very good player, Ralph Sampson. But right there, he just, he has spurts where he just kind of stands around and watches. You never see those kind of spurts with Sullinger. He's always in tune to the game.
Sorry about that, Dan. A bench warning has just been issued to Ohio State and Thad Matta. That was after that reaction. Hoffarbor catches, shoots, barely grazing the iron, follows it up. 0 for 2 there. But Mbakwe gives him another chance. But Williams was calling for it and missed the dunk. Lauderdale was there to harass him, but thrown right back to Minnesota. And now Williams misses a chance at another one.
Tubby Smith is screaming. He thinks Ohio State's defender on Williams went up through the basket. He and his son Saul wanted a goaltend.
Sullinger. And a foul. That'll go against Minnesota. Well, Williams had a couple of golden chances, but was there another issue?
Well, right here, let's look. Yeah, he's right. Lauderdale went up through the basket. And then on the lob. This is the kind of thing that Williams has to correct. It's a good lob. He just missed it. But here you see Lauderdale's right hand up through the basket. Tubby and his son Saul were right.
And Mbakwe just committed the foul. Lauderdale will get another one in close.
Second time. David Lighty ran off of Lauderdale. And Ralph Sampson just kind of stood there. Lauderdale slipped the screen wide open.
So of all people, Dallas Lauderdale is hurting them on the offensive end. And now push here with 17:32 to go in the second half. Buford with the foul.
Let's look at it again, Rodney Williams, and you see right there, how good is our crew? Wow.
Now that basket should have been allowed.
It should have, and Tubby was right on it.
44-35.
Think about the importance. We talked about last 4 road games for Ohio State, average margin of victory under 4. So a call like that, I don't care that the score right now is 9. A call like that is huge in this kind of a ball game.
Hoffarber box out of play. Buckeyes trying to get free and does for 2.
Same thing there, and Dallas Lauderdale's looking over to the coach like, you want me to play on the high side? If I'm going to play on the high side, there's got to be help. Third time in this game, there's been no help for Dallas Lauderdale on the backside.
Lauderdale has all 6 of Ohio State's points since halftime. Lighty trying to break that up, can't. Boy, Sullinger crashing the glass. Power move for 2 and the basket, and he'll go to the line.
That's why I said when Mbakwe was kind of waving at him like, not in here, be careful. Look at the strength here. Takes it away from 2 guys. Maneuvers by being low. Watch when he rebounds. Let's see how low he is. Kind of hooks there. Hooks Sampson. But one of the great things about Jared Sullinger that's very underrated is his ability to get low and around people. People think he just uses his backside.
Lighty plucks the rebound, though, off the missed foul shot. And Ohio State will have another crack at it, leading 46-37. There's a slapping foul on Hollins against Minnesota's freshman, his first. Again, these 2 teams, as Iverson comes back on, have already met once. Minnesota got down as many as 15 in the second half, rallied to get within 3, but then lost by 3. 67-64.
In that comeback, Al Nolan was a huge part of it. He came up with loose balls. He made plays in transition to bring him back, and obviously Al Nolan not here.
Buford handing off to Lighty. Buford pops it up. Too strong. Hollins high up for the rebound and then throw it away. Trying to connect with Hoffarber, and those 2 jawing at each other.
There's a real sense of frustration here. Mbakwe really got after Hollins, and he went over to Hollins and calmed it down. Hoffarber and Hollins, the crowd, there's just it's a frustrated group here right now from Minnesota. You see the pass, throws it out of bounds, and just a real frustrated feel here.
Sullinger. Great look. Lauderdale again.
It's what you do when there's a post double. The opposite big guy immediately sprints to the front of the rim. Mbakwe kind of caught in between.
Sullinger going down hard, tangle up at a foul, and slow to rise. Foul against Ohio State, but look at the eyes of Sullinger. Another thing he does so well. He's a marvelous passer.
Georgetown, Syracuse, North Carolina, Duke. The action tips Wednesday at 7 on ESPN.
Here they come. All the new tech products you need. And they're all looking for the same thing. The one place that makes technology easy. Staples. With highly trained tech experts and expanded tech centers, Staples makes finding the right technology just the way you want it. Easy. Easy to buy, easy to fix, easy to save. Staples. That was easy.
While some fiber ads use supermodels, Metamucil uses super hard-working psyllium fiber, which gels to remove unsexy waste and reduce cholesterol. Taking psyllium fiber won't make you a model, but you should feel a little more super. Metamucil, down with cholesterol.
I am the ultimate wingman, and it's time to make the magic happen. Showtime. Hey, what the?
Edible Arrangements bouquets. Beautiful like flowers, but unforgettably delicious, especially with chocolate. It's your secret weapon this Valentine's Day. Gifts start at just $25. Happiness is always in season. Visit, call, or go to ediblearrangements.com.
Oh, text me.
The amount of technology in today's cars is like something out of a spaceship, which is why mechanics nowadays are more like rocket scientists. They have to be. The technicians at Ford dealerships are highly trained. They really do know their stuff. And they have all the parts to make sure the job gets done right.
Get the works, an oil change, tire rotation, and more. Just $29.95 or less after $10 mail-in rebate.
Does this thing do email? You betcha. See? Smart and friendly.
Survival's all about staying power. So who will be the last man standing? The Degree Adrenaline series has twice the sweat-blocking power. Looks dry to me. The Degree Adrenaline series.
Well, the referees just took a look at this foul moments ago. 48-37 Ohio State.
Well, my problem is right here. Why is Jared Sullinger allowed to lay all over Colton Iverson? Now, I think that's a bit of a flop by Jared Sullinger. I think they went and looked at it to see if Iverson hit him above the neck. But you can't allow a guy 6'9", 270 pounds to lay on another guy at the elbow and expect nothing to happen. It's not like a guard where they'll set up a cut to get open. Big guys just kind of stand there when they're out on the perimeter.
So they get Iverson for the foul, his third. Lighty up top now for the Buckeyes in the lead, 48-37. For the most part today, they have led comfortably. Sullinger tried to force that pass, batted out of play with 15:33 on the clock.
Next time you see the ball going to Sullinger, try to watch Dallas Lauderdale on the double team. Dallas Lauderdale has to get to the Sullinger side of the basket. He didn't do it right there.
Lighty wide open, but off the side of the backboard. Rather frightful effort there. Lighty's had an excellent day up to this point. So Minnesota trying to cut into the lead against the #1 team in the country, the only undefeated team remaining in Division I.
Lighty will never have as good a look and shoot it so bad ever.
That might have been part of the problem. Pop-up pass to Mbakwe, and Lauderdale with the foul. 15:08 remaining. Rivalry week getting underway at ESPN on Monday at 7. It'll be Pitt against West Virginia. Then at 9 o'clock, Missouri going on to meet Kansas in Lawrence. Big Monday presented by Bud Light. All part of Rivalry week presented by Cisco on ESPN. So 3 on Dallas Lauderdale. And he heads to the bench. He has been unusually involved in their offense here in the second half.
They went right to him, start to have 6 straight points.
Fouled here inside 15 minutes to go. #2 on David Lighty of Ohio State. What he's done so far in the second half, perfect 4 for 4. I mean, everything right on top of that rim.
And, you know, he played like a veteran. They called an out-of-bounds play for him. He caught it above the rim and finished. And on a double team, he went to the rim. That is not as easy as it looks. When you are the other big in a double team, getting to the front of the rim, Lauderdale made it look easy. A lot of guys forget in the middle of play.
His career high is 14. Slapped by Sullinger.
I'm telling you, Dave, it's so hard to get the ball in against them. Occasionally you can get a slip of a screen because if you watch Diebler and Kraft or anybody in the box here, they're all going to switch. Occasionally you can get a slip out of it, but that's about it.
See if they back off Sullinger. Nope, he's going to be right there on the line. They're so cagey with that. Misi will set it up for Tubby Smith. Sampson the third. Lost it. No foul. Buford corrals it and scoops, and a foul as well. How about that? Not a smart foul by Ahan Misi.
Not a smart foul at all. You're going to see the steal. Sampson not used to handling the ball out on the perimeter, but Ahan Misi comes in from behind. You know, the play was made on the block. As Mbakwe tried to step in, Sullinger just took it away. Sampson thought he had a post feed. It wasn't there because of Sullinger's defense, and on the reversal just lost it.
Buckeyes with the rebound. 50-37 Ohio State. This is their biggest lead of the ball game.
Dangerous time to have Hoffarber out of the game.
Looked like Buckeyes was trying to get fouled, but he mishandled it. Lighty down the lane, fouled. And it's starting to get very, very physical. Rodney Williams will commit. They'll get Armlin on that foul.
Well, Buckeyes shot fake, tried to get the foul, but here, David Lighty, he has a little scoot move where he kind of gets low and just kind of hops, stops, and because he's so strong, invariably gets a foul.
Take a look. The mouthpiece was out. Lighty cruising and connects there.
I saw a guy one time play with his shirt in his mouth. The neck part of the shoulder part of the shirt, he had it in his mouth while he was playing defense.
You had to cover a guy once who used to play famously with his tongue out of his mouth. And usually lit up every defender, but not Dan Dockage.
Not everyone.
Armlin gave it up. Misi started the move and draws the foul. Let's flash back in our time machine. That's a young Dan Dockage up against the great Michael Jordan. And I mean, absolutely shut down the greatest player of all time.
How far can you play off of a guy? You know, sometimes a guy just runs into somebody else that's more athletic, more physical, tougher, and Jordan just ran into that guy that night. But I mean, I played off from me to Zionsville, Indiana, and I'm in Minneapolis.
Billy Packer asked you after the game as Armlin connects, how did you do it? What was your response?
Well, I didn't know I had done it. I looked in the camera and I said, it just wasn't that hard. You could see Coach Knight like, let's go, Dan.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, kid. You've said enough.
Get out of here.
It just wasn't that hard to lock up Michael. Sullinger on the baseline. That one swings out. Minnesota in need of a run and a hot hand. They do not have Hoffarber on the floor right now. There's a whistle inside the lane. Will go against Ohio State.
When Buckeyes was posting up Lighty and had him sealed, William Buford made a nice defensive play coming over to give help on the backside. But Buckeyes he's so physical on the block. If a referee really wanted to call an offensive foul, he can do it most times against Buckeyes.
Yep, my mistake there. Buckeyes with the foul. And that is 3 on him. Buford handing off for Kraft. Under 13 minutes to go here. Corner jumper will be short by Buford. Minnesota 5 turnovers on their last 6 possessions, and it's really gotten sloppy on both ends of the floor in terms of the fouls. Kraft with his 3rd.
Well, you look at the lineup, and right now you have Armlin, Ahamisi, and Joseph, all freshmen in the game. So chances are it's going to be sloppy from the Minnesota standpoint offensively, and sometimes defensively when you're playing against kind of a herky-jerky offense, you have a tendency to play the same way and foul.
Again, Buckeyes has to sit, and it's a huge miss for Minnesota.
Well, I'll say it again. Rodney Williams, number 33, in white, has to get involved in the game. He's been out there a lot without much done.
Armlin on the spin. That's a nice jump shot for the youngster to pull to it in 10, 51-41.
You know, he played 17 minutes at Purdue and played really well. And he and Hollins are not afraid, Armlin. They'll go make plays. Sometimes it's the wrong play, but they'll be out there trying to make them.
Lighty finds the open man who hands off for Thomas, and that one just spit right out of his hands. So back over to Minnesota it goes with 12 minutes left.
You know, even with this lineup, they were down 13. Tubby Smith, they've been able to keep this at least manageable. I would expect Hoffarber back here fairly soon.
Well, he remains on the bench for now. Iverson swings to his right. They'll get another chance at it with Armlin picking it off.
They should go right back to Iverson. You know, if a big guy misses, just go right back to him. Let him know you have confidence in him.
Shot clock at 7. Harmon short. And Lighty is fouled by Ahan Misi with 11:36 remaining. Still a 10-point lead for number 1, Ohio State.
Enjoy a complete seafood dinner for 2 for just $29.99 at Red Lobster. With fresh salads and biscuits, your choice of entrees, and an appetizer or a dessert to share. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
I was pretty skeptical at first. I just didn't think I would find something that would last. It's been almost 30 days now, and it's still as great as it was day one. I think it's pretty safe to say I found the one that I love right here. Oh, excuse me? It's my Miller Lite Home Draft. I really think that I have something special here.
The Miller Lite Home Draft. Fresh from your fridge for up to 30 days. It's real draft beer with that great Pilsner taste you love. Taste greatness.
Let me just grab those chips. Excuse me.
Changing the oil in your car is
It is a basic necessity. This motor has been neglected terribly. You can see the gunk, the sludge. These are all things that happen to motor oil as it deteriorates. The works would have saved this person a lot of trouble. Very quick and easy to get done at your Ford dealer. Look at that. You can't even get it off your finger. If you can't get it off your hands, you can't get it out of this engine.
Get the works. An oil change, tire rotation, and more. Just $29.95 or less after $10 rebate.
See? Change your oil.
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
I'm right here, and I always will be.
Now you can surround her with the strength of love's embrace at Kay Jewelers. One more reason Kay is the #1 jewelry store in America.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Cindy Brunson in studio right now on ABC. It's the Magic and Celtics second quarter action. Scary moment for Marquise Daniels as he hits the deck hard. Ran into Gilbert Arenas and was motionless for about 5 minutes. Daniels did motion to the crowd as he was taken off on a stretcher. He has been taken to a local hospital. The fear is a neck injury. We'll have more for you as it becomes available. Dave, Dan, back to you.
Okay, Cindy, thank you very much. Please keep us updated on that. Ohio State with a 51-41 lead over Minnesota with 11:36 to go here from the barn, Williams Arena. Ohio State just 2 out of 8 at the foul line so far today. Lighty goes back to the line. He hits 64%. Kevin McHale in the house. Great Golden Gopher in his own right. Of course, NBA Hall of Famer. We're on the topic of the Celtics injury. He had a spectacular career there in Boston.
You know, we haven't seen much of this out of Ohio State. It's been straight man-to-man. The three-quarter court push pickup. Just a little bit to get these freshman guards from Minnesota a little something to think about.
Williams jumping in close and draws the contact with 11:14 left in this one. Trent Tucker is also in the house.
Yeah, Trent Tucker was a really good college player. I think I guarded him one possession as a freshman. It did not go well. So I was either, can't remember if I was taken out, which I probably was just taken out.
You weren't alone, Williams with a miss. But back to Michael. When you shut down Michael Jordan, and I know how much you love to tell this story, how many did he score?
He scored 9 against me, and I will tell you, he scored 13 for the game. I fouled out, and then he fouled out. But really,
but 9 against you.
Yeah, but in all honesty, Coach Smith took him out. He had 2 fouls. They didn't play much in the first half.
Lighty asking for a timeout and gets one there, otherwise a backcourt violation. So Minnesota with some lockup defense of their own.
Join theladders.com, the 100K plus job search specialists that give you the tools and guidance you need to be irresistible.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, man.
What's up? Playing streak for the cash. I'm up to 17 wins. Got my routine. Can't jinx it. So you've been doing this for the last 2 weeks? Yep. And if I keep the streak alive, I can win $100,000. 2 weeks?
Play Streak for the Cash, presented by Progressive on ESPN.com/streak. Make smart choices, win cash prizes.
Millions of women worldwide love Bare Minerals.
This is smooth, it's nice, and it covers. I like that.
Only Bare Minerals looks like beautiful bare skin, while it covers whatever you want it to. And now you can get our latest kit with our totally new, totally spill-proof Click Lock Go foundation for over 75% off retail. Our new kit comes with Bare Minerals foundation in the shade that's just right for you. Warmth for a healthy glow. Mineral Veil, the ultimate finishing touch, and Bare Minerals Flawless Application Brush. Call now and get 3 full-size gifts worth $57.95 free. Purchased separately, you'd spend over $120. Our original Get Started kit was a great deal at 2 payments of $29.99. But now you can get all this for just 1 payment of $29.99. Save over $90 and get a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-204-5815. Ask how you can receive this handy compact. Call 1-800-204-5815 now.
Back in Minnesota, any number of Hall of Famers in the crowd. It's the great Paul Molitor at over 3,000 hits now.
Robin Yount, Paul Molitor.
Yeah. 7-time All-Star. And Jerry Kill, the head football coach as well at Minnesota.
I think he's going to do a great job. He was really good at Southern Illinois. Took Northern Illinois to a bowl game. He is a really good football coach.
So in Minnesota sports, anybody is here today and hoping for an upset, even though it's a home game for Minnesota against the only undefeated team in Division I. And yet another whistle, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving here since the second half started. This one on Colton Iverson.
Well, it was pretty fortunate for Minnesota because they had Sullinger isolated and on Iverson, and Iverson was battling to reestablish position.
So with his 4 fouls, Iverson out. Sampson, a third, back on now for Tubby Smith. And Sullinger at the line. Sullinger hammering away against Michigan for 19 points, 15 rebounds on Thursday.
You know, the way Ohio State plays, a little smaller lineup here for Minnesota, but with Rodney Williams right there with the ball. But that's not a great matchup for Minnesota because of David Light. He can guard so many different positions. Right there, Sampson, he's just got to finish that, Dave. He's right on the rim. He's a junior against a freshman. You're playing at home. That has to be a basket, a foul, or both.
Sullinger really commanding it and hit as well. Back to the line for the freshman. In class only.
Well, you know, right here, you're on the rim. He never quite gets himself turned to the basket. He's always kind of throwing it up there. And then on the other end, there's no excuse ever to get lost on Jared Sullinger when he's below the foul line. Maybe when he goes out on the perimeter, fine. But when he's below the foul line, you have to go body to body on him. And Ralph Sampson didn't do it.
Sullinger has not made a foul shot. 0 for 5 at the line.
He looks very uncomfortable shooting him. He did in warm-ups as well.
He's a solid foul shooter, 71% for the year. But today he's been cold there. Nice strong move there, driving all the way through. Chip Armlin, the freshman out of Sulphur, Louisiana, has the highest vertical leap on his team.
Great recognition for Armlin. He took it right at John Diebler, went right past him.
Lighty out of the double team. Back out for Diebler. Got it. It's a 3-pointer.
You just shouldn't have to double David Lighty against Rodney Williams. You just shouldn't. And when you do double David Lighty against Rodney Williams, that leaves Diebler or Kraft or Buford, all terrific 3-point shooters. Rodney Williams should have been in front of David Lighty and not allowed him to get the basketball.
And Diebler now number 3 all-time in the Big Ten. And 3-pointers. Misi with a spin, simply lost it. Buford scooped it up on the baseline. This is a real danger zone for Minnesota. You can feel it. The crowd is out of it. This great big crowd. And Ohio State looks like they're putting the pedal to the metal here. Lighty back out. And stolen away. Minnesota forcing the turnover. Armland, scoop shot, won't fall. Rebound comes to Hollins. He banks it in.
Yeah, good play by Ralph Sampson, keeping the ball alive. Hollins, the recipient, and Tubby's going to go ahead and take a timeout. He's going to get Hoffarbor back in the game because of exactly what you just said.
58-46. Back to John Diebler now, the senior, and his three-point shooting numbers, moving into third place all time in the Big Ten. And this season hitting 47%. You know, his freshman year he had only 29%. So he's put a lot of hard work in it. He's increased his three-point accuracy 3 years in a row.
I was coaching in the Big Ten when he was a freshman. I remember sitting on the bench with him before our game at Ohio State. I said, John, how many threes have you already gotten up today? The game was a noon game. You said 1,500. So it wasn't from a lack of work as a freshman. He and his dad and his brother Jake was a terrific player at Valparaiso, now coaches at Valparaiso University. Just a real basketball family and a hard-working basketball family.
He has 10 today, 3 out of 5 from 3. Of course, Ohio State back on ESPN next Saturday against Wisconsin at the Kohl Center. One of the hardest places in America for an opposing team to win.
92%. Wisconsin smacked Michigan State this afternoon.
Lighty off the fake, gets a little closer. Sampson came out to defend it. A good job, but they'll win it back. Sullinger finds the open man, Kraft, and buries it, a three-pointer.
That's Ohio State hustle. Ohio State just beat Minnesota to that loose ball. And then Ohio State always looking to the corner. When they pick up a loose ball, there's always a shooter available. That time it was Kraft.
And that was Sullinger to poke it away with terrific denied defense. So he's doing it on both ends of the floor. Now the catch in the lane, powers in, tips his own miss, gets it back, and he gets hammered. 7:49 left. Sullinger really starting to show up big time down the stretch for #1 Ohio State.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy, the no-wait, no-hassle way to a great morning. And in part by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores. And Toyota.
Why do we go through so much hassle for our morning coffee? We wait for it, make it, fuss with it, carry it around. There has to be a faster and easier way to get your morning wake up. There is. 5 Hour Energy. It's the morning wake up you don't have to make, wait for, or hassle with. And it really works. Just open it up and knock it back.
That was fast and easy.
5 Hour Energy. The no wait, no hassle way to a great morning.
Did Dad go to Jared for the Pandora bracelet like we told him?
I can't tell.
Oh, honey. Oh, yeah. He went to Jared.
He totally went to Jared.
Celebrate life's unforgettable moments with Pandora charms and bracelets. Now at Jared, where you'll find a fabulous Pandora selection.
Aww. They are so cute at that age.
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
Pressure can cause anyone's deodorant to fail. Introducing Gillette Odor Shield Antiperspirant that targets and neutralizes odor at the source. Help eliminate odor. Don't just cover it up.
I got into one of the best schools in the country! I got into one of the most expensive schools in the country.
When stress gives you heartburn with headache, Alka-Seltzer gives you relief fast. Plop, plop. Fizz, fizz.
Minnesota, and a run here for Ohio State to take command of this one. Dan Dakich, take us inside the play.
Well, Ohio State has a lot of weapons, but they also have a lot of hustle. Watch David Lighty here on this loose ball. The ball goes away from him, but he hustles, knocks it free to John Diebler. Now watch Aaron Kraft. He's going to slide to the corner off of the post feed. That's a staple of Ohio State basketball. Hustle for a loose ball, then on any type of scramble situation, fill the top of the key and fill the opposite corner.
And Bakwe with 4 fouls after hammering Sullinger back to the line, where he has not made one until now. 62-46, and now Mbakwe will have to step out.
There's a lot of great things about Jared Sullinger, but one of the best is he kind of just always plays the game with a smile on his face. You know, like never gets frustrated or reacts.
If you played it that well, you'd be smiling all the time,
right,
too, wouldn't you?
I think you're right. Just likes the physical contact. He just
a very unselfish young man.
This whole team is.
Yes.
This whole team, it's about we, not me.
I think that's the single most impressive thing about Ohio State is the maturity and the unselfishness.
And I credit a lot of that to Dallas Lauderdale and David Lighty, 2 seniors that have just put ego aside. And, you know, Lauderdale has helped Jared Sullinger when you talk to the coaches, helped him cope with college and drills and scouting reports. Lauderdale has just been fantastic for this team.
On the catch, Williams. The drive, the leader, and the offensive foul, and that's happened a number of times for Minnesota today. Armlin commits his 3rd. 62-46 Ohio State as we look at their leaders, and they have plenty of them, but statistically.
Yeah, you're not going to see Dallas Lauderdale's name up there, but in terms of if you're going to say leaders, Dallas Lauderdale has to be among them, and today they're getting production from all areas. I thought David Lighty and William Buford came out and set a real fast, quick tone for Ohio State in this game, a lot like they did against Indiana and Purdue.
So now content to run a little bit off that clock. Sampson coming out to guard here, but Sampson at 14 in the first half. He has not scored in the second half. Sullinger, tough catch, and makes it. How do you stop him?
How about Aaron Kraft takes off on a drive, and you're going to see him here, right here. He's going to get the ball, just knows, flips it up. Because you don't have to be precise when you throw the ball to Jared Sullinger. Just get the ball in the general area. And he's going to come down with it and come down with it on balance. Now, there's a real art to playing in traffic. Not everybody can do it. Sullinger makes it look easy.
If he's in the area code, he's going to catch it.
He's going to catch it.
And make the basket.
And it doesn't matter who's around him. He's still going to catch it.
He said so far today, for him, kind of a middle-of-the-road game. 14 points and 11 rebounds, but another double-double. Hoffarber open for a long-distance 3, but they need a lot more of those in the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, real good move by Hoffarber. Came off the screen. John Diebler wanted an illegal screen, but Blake Hoffarber, he needs no time. He just gets rid of it quickly. One of the few guys in college basketball, Blake Hoffarber, that really understands movement without the ball, setting up your man 2 or 3 steps, changing direction, shoulder to shoulder off a screen.
Kraft to penetrate. He went right by Sampson the 3rd.
Dave, how many times have we seen Aaron Kraft get a mismatch with a bigger guy and then make the bigger guy look bad?
Yep. Did the same thing to Juwan Johnson in the Purdue game.
If you're a big guy, as soon as you switch to Kraft, just start screaming for somebody to get back.
Armlin with the jam and a foul as well. That lights up the building a bit.
Armlin going to his right, left-handed kid. Right past Kraft. That doesn't happen very often. Strong to the rim. You know, Tubby Smith looking for playmakers. May have found something here with Armlin. Armlin, you see 10 points today, but looking really confident against the #1 team in the country.
Well, terrific athlete in high school in Louisiana. LSU and Georgia Tech both recruited him to be a defensive back. He's an outstanding football player. Well, Tubby's going to need something with the injuries and the defection. And his team, if they can't recover today, will lose their third in a row. And there's the slam by Lauderdale.
So much pressure Ohio State puts on you with the dribble. Big man helped up. Anytime a big guy helps up, it's going to be a dunk. If the team that has the ball is a good passing team, and clearly Ohio State is.
A rare double-figure scoring game as that one spins in. Lauderdale with 10 points in this one. Let's give you a look at the upcoming schedule now for Ohio State. They do not play again until next Saturday when they are at Wisconsin. We will have it for you right here on ESPN. Dan and I will be there for that showdown.
At Purdue's never a picnic. That place will be jumping. And at Penn State disappointing loss today to Michigan. Michigan playing much better. It's only a matter of time. John Beilein, as good a coach as there is, but you get into Penn State, they have shown a knack for getting up when 15,000, 16,000 people show for their games, to playing well and winning games at home.
Wisconsin, by the way, destroyed Michigan State.
Boy, if you're Tom Izzo,
are you sleeping at all?
No. And you haven't for a while.
And it'll go the other way with 4:42 to go.
But I just don't know where you go. You know, again, the team decimated. Chris Allen for Michigan State. Lucius is gone. Trying to find a combination that apparently can't find it.
That's number 4 on Aaron Kraft, the freshman for Ohio State. And that'll put Armlin at the line for Minnesota. These two teams met 3 times last year. Ohio State winning 2, including in the Big Ten Tournament Championship game.
Ohio State destroyed Minnesota in the Big Ten Championship game, but credit Minnesota, they destroyed Purdue in the semifinal. They had Purdue down 30 in Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Great run by Tubby Smith last year through the Big Ten tournament. Beat Michigan State in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament last year. Minnesota did.
Ohio State with a great balance, all 5 starters in double figures. Keebler, one of them. Sullinger with Sampson, the third behind him. Buford casts it up, all net.
Did it with Hollins right in his face, and after Buford hit that one, Hollins just looked over to his coach as if to say, what else can I do?
Now for Minnesota, you have to wonder, they came into this one ranked number 20. Foul here with 4:05 remaining, but they're coming off 2 consecutive road losses. And now with 4 minutes to go, they're in deep trouble. Kraft has just fouled out. Are they about to tumble out of the top 25?
I don't think there's any doubt. I think the loss at Indiana, unless they would have won this one, I think that sets that up. Moving forward with Minnesota, they have what I think is going to end up being a very good win with North Carolina. They've beaten Purdue, beat West Virginia. That's their 3 best wins. But the game with Illinois coming up next week, that is a huge game for both of those teams. Illinois losing yesterday at Northwestern.
So Illinois is next. We'll have it for you on ESPN.
And you look at the schedule. Iowa's playing better. Penn State's tough to go in there. To make the tournament, Minnesota's going to have to win their remaining home games for sure.
No doubt about that. Armlin makes the first, and trying to do all that without Nolan at the moment, with that broken foot. And of course, DeVoe Joseph transferred to Oregon. He left the program. Armlin has 12 points in the second half, so he has been the light for Minnesota. Sullinger on the spin, lays it in.
It looks so easy. Like Diebler just didn't even worry about it. Just threw it up ahead, and Sullinger off a spin.
Hoffarbor misfires, and Sullinger with another rebound. So his numbers are really starting to beef up. It's been a bit of a monster in the second half. Lighty with the foul as well. He'll go to the line for a 3-point play. Sailing down the lane.
Ohio State's just smelling blood here. The ball just thrown up ahead. Throw it where you want, and Sullinger's going to get it, and he's going to finish it. And then David Lighty just went harder right here than anybody on Minnesota's team.
Crossing borders with ease, clearing customs, a breeze that's logistics. adios, cheerio, au revoir, off it goes, that's logistics. Overseas, overland, on the web, on demand, that's logistics. Operations worldwide, UPS on your side, that's logistics.
Impressive resume.
Thank you.
But you know what? Tell me, what makes Peter Peter?
Well, I'm an avid catamaran sailor. I can my own homemade jam, apricot. And I really love my Banks Raise Your Rate CD.
I'm sorry, did you say you love a pay raise ASAP?
No, actually, I said I love my Banks Raise Your Rate CD.
You spent 8 days lost at sea.
No, I never...
You love watching your neighbors watch TV.
At Ally, you'll love our Raise Your Rate CD that offers a one-time rate increase if our current rates go up. Ally, do you love your bank?
Here they come. All the new tech products you need. And they're all looking for the same thing. The one place that makes technology easy. Staples. With highly trained tech experts and expanded tech centers, Staples makes finding the right technology just the way you want it. Easy. Easy to buy, easy to fix, easy to save. Staples. That was easy.
Think we can go back in yet?
Huh? I want to head back inside. I think I saw a few more people working.
You think he knows it's just a drill?
In studio with this update, I'm Cindy Brunson. Number one on the ladies' side, Baylor putting a 17-game win streak on the line at Oklahoma State. Second half, Brittany Griner, she's got 19 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. You can see this game on ESPNU. Baylor in control. Dave, Dan, back to you.
Well, Cindy, certainly the number one team in the country. Ohio State in control of this one against number 20 Minnesota, 76-58 here at the barn. David Lighty at the line, working on adding to his 18 points, which leads all scorers. And he does with a 3-point play. Give him 19. And this is the biggest lead today for the Buckeyes. We talk about their offensive rebounding today, how rebounding has made all the difference. So is the passing of Ohio State. They have 5 players with 3 or more assists. Williams in for 2.
Completely unselfish Ohio State is. And I just think it goes back to Lighty and Dallas Lauderdale. As a coach, you want to have any issue on the team solved by the players. And there's always issues on every single team. And with Ohio State, that's what Lighty and Dallas Lauderdale do. They take care of the locker room. And you rarely, if ever, find a really good team, basketball, baseball, football, that doesn't have a great locker room.
Hollins with a 3. 77-63. So inside 3 minutes to go here. I have a pretty good feeling that Jared Sullinger, whoever he had signed with, and he's from Columbus, Ohio, but wherever he had gone to school, he was going to be known as an unselfish player with a real gift for passing. A timeout here by Ohio State. But your point is well taken. The veteran guys, the older kids, if they set that tone that, hey, this is how we're going to play. You may be the greatest freshman in America, but this is how we play at Ohio State.
We've seen it with teams across the country. Think about Kansas State. A lot of guys back. They've dealt with issues. North Carolina, they're on a pretty nice run, and all of a sudden, Larry Drew decides to leave the team. He's an integral part of the team. You see it all the time in every sport. And you're right about Sullinger, by the way. He's so well schooled by his parents. His father, a terrific coach that talks about the right things in basketball. He always has. So, yeah, Sullinger would have been that kind of piece, but boy, that locker room is cleaned up.
Rivalry week continuing on Tuesday night with a doubleheader at 7. It's Indiana taking on their arch rivals, the Purdue Boilermakers. Then at 9 o'clock Eastern, Tennessee looking to regain their form against Kentucky. Super Tuesday presented by KFC, part of Rivalry Week presented by Cisco on ESPN.
Well, Purdue, it's imperative that E'Twaun Moore starts knocking in shots and becoming the E'Twaun Moore of his first 3 years. He has really struggled in the Big Ten shooting the basketball.
Well, Ohio State, the king of the hill, 10-0 in the Big Ten. Another spin move by Sullinger. How pretty is that? Remembering he is 6'9", 280.
That was quick. I mean, that was just sitting here watching that spin. That was really quick. And he does it because he plays with the bases just low.
Williams with a strong move, but a little too late out of him here in the second half. Well, Buckeyes in the Super Bowl today. There's a whole slew of them in the big game coming up.
Well, Dick LeBeau, considered, just went in the Hall of Fame this past summer. A.J. Hawk, last year of a contract, doesn't know if he's going to be back with Green Bay, having a terrific postseason and end of the season.
Williams connects on the first one. It's a lone Green Bay. I know, here you're not supposed to. A lone Green Bay fan, he's going to hear it in the student section. It is not the popular choice on this day in Minnesota.
Great rivalry between Minnesota and Green Bay.
Lighty backed up and hit the deck.
Might be the first mistake he's made all day.
First misstep. I think you're right. Thomas is blocked, hits it back. Fake Sampson draws the foul with 1:58 on the clock here. So Ohio State is going to move to 24-0, 11-0 in the Big Ten, 8-0 on the road. We discussed it earlier that they've had any number of difficult games, a half dozen of tough wins, including one at Northwestern where they snuck by 1 point. But today a totally different story.
Northwestern, without John Sherney in that game, gave Ohio State all you want. The formula, and you mentioned it earlier, the formula is slow it down, limit possessions. Northwestern went to their circle stuff, which is a stall, and then played the last 15 seconds of the shot clock. Minnesota did not do that. They tried to play a normal game, play up and down here, and I haven't seen anybody that can do it with Ohio State.
Nobody in the conference, nobody out of the conference.
Dave, we hear this all the time. There's no great teams in college basketball. I hear it on our network. I read it. Well, what does Ohio State have to do to be considered a great team? Now, with a win here, they'll be 39-2 in their last 41 games.
Yeah, and I think to that point is a number of those close victories, but they actually lead the nation in margin of victory at 20 points a game.
Dave, the last undefeated team in college basketball was Indiana in 1976. Indiana, fortunate that a kid named Wood for Ohio State missed 2 free throws, or they'd have lost at Ohio State. Fortunate that Jimmy Cruz tipped one up to Kent Benson, or they would have lost to Michigan at home. There's always close games. It's not like the last undefeated team won every game by 25. I mean, but you just keep winning.
Buford tied up by Williams, who commits the foul, is 4th with 1:08 to go. The current win streaks. Regular season wins 27, road wins at 11, Big Ten wins at 17. But how about the last 40 games? That modest team is 38-2.
I mean, 17 in a row in the Big Ten. And everybody says this is the best year in the Big Ten in however many years you want to move back to.
So your point is there is a great basketball team in America, and it's Ohio State.
I do. I think it is. You have a combination of experience. You have a great shooting team. You have a player of the year on the block. You have a team that likes each other. A great coach on the sideline. Now, you can make the case, well, they're not deep. That's a positive, in my opinion, in college basketball. Or their depth is young with Kraft and Deshaun Thomas. Well, fine, but young is okay in the modern day of college basketball. And those two guys, while young, are ultra talented.
Sullinger departs with another double-double. 18 points, 13 rebounds. His 11th double-double of the season. Came in averaging 18 points, 10 rebounds. Williams, yes, a 2-pointer. And a timeout here by Tubby Smith with 57 seconds to go. Now looking ahead, Ohio State against Wisconsin again next Saturday on ESPN. It's the next time Ohio State plays. It'll be at 2 o'clock. Ohio State with 11 straight Big Ten road games. Bo Ryan, amazing at the Kohl Center. And 7-0 against Ohio State at home. The Buckeyes have never won there. Michigan State has never won there.
We talk about limiting possessions and playing slow. The two teams that had a moderate of success played Ohio State close were Iowa and Northwestern, playing it slow. Well, Iowa and Northwestern aren't as good as Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is going to play it slow, shorten the game, fewer possessions. So I think that game is going to be special. I just, Wisconsin is playing really well. They just, beat Michigan State by 26. So that sets up to be a terrific matchup next Saturday, and you and I will be there.
Can't wait for that one. We have to wait a little less than a full week, but it'll be worth it on ESPN next weekend. So Ohio State will improve to 24-0. Not much trouble today at all with Minnesota. The crowd was ready on this Super Sunday, but the Golden Gophers could not deliver. And Ohio State was able to get out to a quick start, thanks for the most part to David Lighty and William Buford. And their guards were just brilliant in the first half. And then it was Sullinger in the second half, along with Lauderdale.
Yeah, but as you said, Lighty and Buford really set a tone, not only for what they scored, but how the pace was going to be. They were really fast coming out, and that set the tone for the game.
So another road win for the Buckeyes as they knock off Minnesota today, the number 20 team in the country, 82-69. Thad Matta's team remains perfect. And they have just been tremendous on the road. 24-0 and 11-0 inside the Big Ten. Sullinger, second half in particular, he really showed up big time. 18 points and 13 rebounds for the Player of the Year candidate. Lighty had 19 to lead all scorers, and all of the Ohio State starters hit for double figures. We update the standings now in the conference. Ohio State at 11-0 in front of Purdue. Wisconsin is next. Can't wait for that one next week. Minnesota has started to slide. They have lost 3 consecutive games as their problems continue. 82-69 the final score. For Dan Dockich and our entire crew, I'm Dave O'Brien. Coming up next, the Chris Paul Invitational. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Again, the final, Ohio State 82, Minnesota 69. Now let's get you out to New Orleans for the Chris Paul Invitational. Have a great Sunday, everybody.
The big game may be later today, but the stars are here at the Chris Paul PBA Celebrity Invitational. Mega selling recording artist Lil Wayne, New Orleans Saints Super Bowl winning running back Reggie Bush,